Good evening, sir. Good evening to all. This is the day 4 of special lecture series program for undergraduate students organized by Kolkata Bidhannagar Society of Academic Advancement, Kolkata, India. Today we have Sudipta Chakraborty sir with us. He is lecturer at Department of Humanities at Murarai Government Polytechnic, West Bengal, India. Today's topic of discussion is marketing management, and today's lecture will be given by our Sudipta Chakraborty sir. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the introduction. Good evening to all. Myself, Sudipta Chakraborty, and today I will be delivering lecture on marketing management. Let me now share my PPT with you so that we can start with today's discussion. I hope my PPT is visible.
Yes, sir. Please continue.
Okay, thank you. So today I will be not talking about the whole thing of marketing. Rather, I will be concentrating primarily on recent developments in marketing. Uh, for today's lecture, I have planned these 8 contents to be discussed within this 1.5 hours. Although this lecture is primarily targeted for the UG students, but I'm sure today's lecture is going to benefit the PG students as well. So let me start with our first topic for today, that is consumerism. We know that marketing has traveled a long way. The concept of marketing has traveled a long way, starting from product orientation to consumer orientation, with a small step over through sales orientation. But traditionally speaking, the rights were heavily tilted towards sellers, where the buyers enjoyed only few rights. As you can see, traditionally, the buyers used to enjoy only three rights, namely the right not to buy a product, the right to expect a safe product, and the right to expect the product to perform as claimed. Whereas the sellers used to have five rights in their favor. Now, question arises that if after purchasing a product, there is some problem, to whom the buyers will resort to, whom the buyers will go to for redressing their problem, for finding out remedy of their dissatisfaction? There was no answer. And the rights that were there for the sellers were misutilized by the seller, and buyers used to face various kinds of problems. Let me now discuss one by one the traditional sellers' rights and the problems thereby arising out to the buyers. The first right that the sellers had was the right to introduce any product in any size and style. I will try to give you some examples in this regard so that the discussion becomes more interesting. In the early 70s, uh, the automobile company Ford introduced their car Pinto that was primarily made for middle income group. Now, this car met with several accidents. On investigation, it was found that the car was not equipped with a sufficient amount of safety measures. The company advocated for itself, saying that the price at which they are offering the car, it's not possible for them to provide any better safety measures. Just imagine who has to take the blunt? Of course, the buyers. Let me talk about the second right, the right to charge any price for the product. Now, I will be talk about a pharmaceutical company, Novartis. Now, this pharmaceutical company had one product, one medicine called Glyvec. This medicine was used to treat a particular type of cancer, blood cancer, leukemia. Now, this medicine costed around 36,000 per medicine, which was suddenly hiked to rupees 1 lakh 8,000 per medicine. So just imagine it's a life saving medicine, and the price has been made three times the original price instead of public resentment because the law was in their favor. Let me talk about another right, which is the right to use any product message. Here I will be giving the example of Dabur India. We all are familiar with this company. Now, Dabur India introduced one medicine called Liva God. And the product message that they used to give is that even if you uh, consume alcohol, it's not going to affect your liver adversely if you have Liva God along with it. So basically, such kind of product message is encouraging or promoting the consumption of alcohol, which is not socially desirable. But they did that because the right was in their favor. Then sailors had the right to use buying incentive programs as per their wish, and as a result, Bata India Limited introduced one series of shoes for kids, which is known as bubblegum series of shoes. Now, the shoes of this range was priced high, and they introduced one promotional scheme that a lucky winner of the contest who purchased the bubblegum shoes will be sponsored for a trip to Disneyland. Now, it is no doubt that this shoes were very popular. This series of shoe was very popular, and it was at the same time highly priced. And what Bata did after introducing or after launching this particular shoes, they gradually taken off the lower price shoes which were there for kids. Now it caused resentments from the public because everyone was not in a position to uh, to purchase those high priced shoes. So, in such a scenario, we can understand that these rights, although may be in favor of the sellers, but are actually adversing effectively the buyers. In fact, the sellers had additional right to spend any amount to promote the product. Now, spending any amount means the cost of the product will increase, and as a result, the price that will be charged to the buyers will also increase. So ultimately, the buyers have to bear the brunt. So, under such circumstances, perhaps from our discussion, it is very clear that the rights were traditionally heavily tilted towards the sellers as compared to the buyers. So, it's needless to say that there was highly some change, some renaissance was needed. And that's why consumer movement took place, and it initiated in the year 1962 with President Kennedy's introduction of Consumer Bill of Rights, where additional three rights were introduced for buyers apart from the traditional three rights of buyers which were there. Now, these newly introduced rights were the right to be well informed about important aspects of the product, the right to be protected against questionable products and marketing practices, the right to influence products and marketing practices in ways that will improve quality of life, and the right to consume now in a way that will preserve the world for future generations of consumers. So now, if you compare the buyer's rights and seller's rights, it is very much clear that now the power dynamics got tilted towards buyers. As a result, there was a big change. This big change was from caveat emptor to caveat venditor, where caveat emptor means let the buyer beware, which was the concept before. That means, as a buyer, if you are purchasing the product, it is your duty to check the product that you are purchasing is in a proper state, it functions as you wish, and it is the product that you had actually demanded. But it is true that the buyers had the right to reject a product. But just imagine, can the buyer be in a position to understand whether the product is in good condition or not, even before purchasing or using the product? It's not possible. Comparatively, if we talk about sellers, they are in a position to decide that because they have much more information about that product as compared to the buyers. So the shift which happened from caveat emptor to caveat venditor is now says that the sellers need to be beware before selling a product to the buyer. They need to see whether the product that they are selling is satisfying the needs of the buyers, and it works as per the demand of the buyers. In fact, the duty of the seller is not confined only within selling. even after selling of product, if there is any problem that the buyer faces, it is the seller's duty to address that problem or to extend the help to the buyer. So from seller centric marketing, now we have entered into the consumer centric marketing, which is the primary idea of consumerism. And that's why today we say that consumer is the king in marketing. We now move on to the next topic of today's discussion, which is social marketing. Now, social marketing is basically certain ideas or concept, marketing of certain ideas or concept that improves the standard of living of the people living in the society by bringing some behavioral, positive behavioral changes, by removing various superstitions, social taboos, false beliefs, and evil practices which are there existing in the society. So basically, it aims at imparting benefits to the individual and society at large without taking into consideration the profit motive. So it's basically a welfare message towards the society that is spread with through marketing or by the marketers. Let me give you some examples in this regard. Government of India has taken several such initiatives that we can talk about, like Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao movement, Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, Jago Grahak Jago, and pulse polio vaccination. In fact, not only government, even the private marketers have also taken different initiatives, such as Swasthya Chetana campaign taken up by Life. However, many a times we get confused between the concepts of social marketing and societal marketing. We tend to use these two terms interchangeably. But let me tell you that these two are not the same. In fact, social marketing is a part of societal marketing. So, societal marketing is a broader concept. So, societal marketing is basically an idea that identifies the needs and wants of the customers and try to align their marketing activities in such a way so that it doesn't affect society, it becomes socially responsible, and also it remains profitable. So, societal marketing is not only about the social welfare, but it also takes into account the profit motive of the business. There are two primary dimensions of societal marketing. One is time dimension, and the other one is breadth dimension. If we talk about time dimension, it is basically protecting the long term interest of the society instead of looking into only short term goals. Say, for example, promoting belts over painkiller tablets for combating against back pain may be considered as an example of time dimension of societal marketing. If I talk about breadth dimension, it is basically safeguarding the interest of the people who are not direct user of that product, which is causing harm to the society. Say, for example, we may think of cigarettes. We know smoking is injurious to health, but smoking doesn't only injure the person who is smoking. I mean, by smoking, a non-smoker also gets affected because of passive smoking. So we promote e-cigarettes over normal or traditional cigarettes. Although e-cigarettes are also not fully safe, but it causes less emission or less harm as compared to traditional cigarettes. In this regard, we can give another very interesting and real life example, which comes from the house of Procter and Gamble, which is popularly known as P&G. Now, if you have seen the TV commercials of P&G, you must be knowing that it is shown that if you purchase any P&G product, the profit that will arise to the company thereby, a portion of that will be invested towards the education of underprivileged. So here they are not only promoting a social message that is education for all, but also they are looking into their profit motives. Let me explain this better with the help of one of the TV commercials of P&G company. It will be clearer then. You will be able to understand the concept of societal marketing, as well as you will be able to get the difference between social and societal marketing. So it's a small video that I would like to share with you.
बद्रीनाथ है पर स्कूल के दोस्त मुझे बिट्टू बुलाते हैं आई गो কথা বোঝো যদি ওই আমি স্কুলে পড়িয়া এই করিল ভালো এই করিল ভালো ওই আমার চোখে জল ওই আমার চোখে জল बाती सोच रहे होंगे मैं पहले स्कूल क्यों नहीं गया जब गांव में स्कूल था ही नहीं तो जाता कैसे 75 साल की उम्र में अब जाके स्कूल बना और आज मैं भी स्टूडेंट बना स्टूडेंट ওই আমার মনের মানুষ কথা শোনাই গো কথা বোঝো যদি ওই আমি শৈশবে ফিরে আইলাম স্কুলে পড়িয়া স্কুলে পড়িয়া
Well, I hope it is clear to you now. Although the video was primarily in Hindi, but English subtitles were there. So I believe it was not a problem to understand the content of the video. Let me go back to the PPT once again. So, in order to cut the long story short that we have discussed till now, we may say simply social
Hello,
market.
sir.
Yes.
PPT is not shared. Please reshare.
Okay, sure, sure. I hope now it's visible.
Yes, sir. It's visible. Please continue.
Okay. As I was saying, to the long story short, we can say that social marketing is mere spreading of social welfare message to the society at large, whereas societal marketing includes social marketing as well as something extra. And this extra is the profit intentions of the marketers. Now, let me move into the third topic for today, which is green marketing. Now, green marketing basically means meeting consumer needs in such a manner that it doesn't harm the society or environment at large. That means we are here by green marketing not only talking about the products that is eco-friendly or environmentally products and services, but green marketing constitutes broad range of activities like product modification, changes in the product process, packaging, and advertising campaigns. So, let me give you some examples in order to understand the concept of green marketing well. We have environment awareness and renewal at Taj project, which is also known as Earth project, initiated by the Taj group of hotels. So, in their hotels, they use those products which are eco friendly to support green marketing. Think about Philips. They promote CFL bulbs or CFL lights over the conventional lights because it saves electricity. Think about Toyota, which markets hybrid vehicle like Prius in order to save fossil fuel. Think about Nerolac paints, which has stopped using harmful chemicals and metals in their paints in order to make their products green or eco-friendly. We have SBI, for that matter, as an example, State Bank of India. State Bank of India encourages use of plastic money and e-receipts or digital receipts so that wastage of paper can be reduced to a great extent. So these are certain initiatives that talk about green marketing. We need to understand that in today's world, if we don't consider green marketing as an important marketing practice, probably there will be a question mark regarding the existence of the marketer in long run. In fact, you are well aware that today when we go to any mall to purchase any product, we see that they charge you for the packet if you don't bring your own packet. And in many cases, in the packet also, it is written it is a green packet or reusable packet. So that is also a part of green marketing. Previously, it was seen that generally the brand used to sale packets where the logo or the brand name was imprinted. But now that practice has gone. You have to pay quite high prices for purchasing those eco-friendly bags if you don't carry your bags. That's definitely part of green marketing. We move on now to our fourth topic, which is online marketing. Now, this online marketing or internet marketing is something perhaps we all are aware of. Uh, we know that Gen Y and Gen Z today spend most of their time doing different works in online mode or through internet. It may be playing online games, it may be listening to music, it may be watching movies, it may be even studying ebooks or something like that. So, the importance of online or internet services cannot be denied. In fact, after COVID, we have actually understood the importance of online mode or internet services even better. See, today, this lecture I'm delivering and you are listening also through online mode. So how can we deny the importance of online mode? That's not possible. So we can say that online marketing, I mean, if we talk about online marketing, then we see that such a big segment of potential consumers are engaged differently in through internet. So how can a marketer miss such a big chunk of their target consumers? It's not possible. So marketers also have gone online from the traditional offline stores. So what online marketing can be termed as a component of digital marketing that tries to promote the products and services to consumers with the use of internet and different other digital communication mediums. Such mediums may, of course, be email, social media, web-based advertising, etc. That may also include text messages, multimedia messages, and several other marketing channels. Think of certain examples in this regard. Think of app-based cab services like Ola and Uber. They are totally running on online basis or based on internet. Think about food delivery apps like Zomato, Swiggy, etc. They are also equally dependent on internet. Today, when we talk about purchasing any product or ordering any product, many of us do not visit offline stores. We prefer to order the same through online online stores like uh, Amazon or Flipkart or something like that. So these also operate over internet, right? So the importance of online platform is immense. That cannot be negated. So marketers also target these online platforms to promote their products and services. There are primarily three type of online marketing strategies that the marketer takes resort to. One is social media marketing. If you just go through the usage statistic of your mobile phone that you are currently probably using, you will see the most of the time you have spent on different social media platforms. Not only that, the next thing will be different browsers. You have scrolled through different web pages through different browsers. So social media marketing is very important because since you are associated with social media so much like Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, etc. So marketer targets those social media platforms to promote their products and services. So far as mobile marketing is concerned, they try to send mails, SMSs, MMSs, etc., promoting their products and services. Last but not the least is search engine marketing. That is, they try to, I mean, the marketers try to optimize the search engine so that when you search for certain keywords in any search engine like Google, Yahoo, Bing, etc., on the top of the search results, the products or services of this marketer appears. And there is no guarantee. I mean, you can be a potential buyer of that product or a potential availer of that service. So, in today's world, the importance of online marketing is definitely very, very, very high. But can we say that online marketing is the panacea to all the problems of marketers? Or can online marketing replace the traditional offline marketing? The answer is, in terms of or in context of India, still no. In foreseeable future, no. This is because of primarily two reasons. Online marketing focuses primarily on the people, on the customers or potential customers who are residing in urban areas. If we talk about rural areas, then many of those potential customers do not have the access to internet. uh, some of them do not even have the access to the minimum infrastructure, that is a digital device, and they are not tech savvy enough, or they are not equipped enough to go for online marketing. So uh, a chunk of them cannot be targeted through online marketing. So the marketer needs to resort to traditional offline marketing in order to address them. Otherwise, the bottom of the pyramid will be unattended. Secondly, I have already talked about Gen Y and Gen Z. What about Gen X? What about the generation before that? They are also not tech savvy. They still date prefer to purchase things from offline stores rather than going online, most of them at least. So, are you going to keep them out of your ambit as a marketer? Probably no. So that is the reason, apart from online marketing, you sometimes may need to offer your products through offline stores also. And that is why, a big basket, which started its operation in online mode in the initial days, have now opened up different offline stores across different cities. The next topic that we are going to discuss about is direct marketing. There is a saying in marketing that one size doesn't fit all. That means the product or the service that is being offered by the marketer cannot be preferred by every individual, every customer. The size, the color, the features of the product may not be demanded. That uniform size, uniform color, uniform features of that product may not be demanded or may not be liked by all the customers, because consumers have different tastes and preferences. And if you want to address the customers properly or consumers properly, you need to identify such differences in their tastes and preferences, and you have to address them separately. And that is what the target marketing concept does. It says that direct direct marketing or target marketing is a marketing concept where the third party is eliminated and the marketing is done by the marketer to the customers directly. So there is no involvement of third party, and as a result, through such direct communication, the marketer can target the potential customers and the existing customers with much precision while promoting their products and services. Uh, it uses various methods like direct mail, catalog, flyers, telephonic calls, etc., to deliver personalized messages or tailor made offers for their customers. Let me give you some examples in this regard. Suppose you have a special day, like, say, for example, it's your birthday. A marketer may call you up and say that you have a special offer for that day. Maybe 30% discount will be given exclusively to you because that's your birthday. That's a special day for you. So that's a direct marketing because this particular offer is given to you, not to every customer. Let me give you another example. Say, for example, you have your marriage anniversary on a particular date, and you end up getting a mail or a message saying that if you visit the store of that particular marketer, whatever you want to purchase, you will purchase, of course. Apart from that, the marketer will surprise you with a gift. So that gift is exclusively for you because that's your anniversary. So that's only for you and your spouse, not for any other customer. So that's the direct marketing, which is tailor made for you as a customer. In fact, there are certain marketers who take resort only to direct marketing. That is, they don't go for mass marketing, they don't sell their products through online marketing, they only resort to direct marketing. Let me give you some examples. Think about Oriflame. Think about companies like Amway. They don't sell their products through offline stores. Rather, they have their dedicated selling agents who visit your place, who try to understand your demands, your needs, and who show you what they have uh, uh, for you to offer. And accordingly, whatever product you choose to purchase, they deliver the same at your place. So that is a great example of direct marketing that we can think of. Now we move on to the next topic of our discussion, that is the sixth topic of today, which is rural marketing. Now, rural marketing is very important because it is a very challenging thing for the marketers. It has certain advantages to the marketers. The marketer also faces certain challenges because marketing a product or service in an urban area is much easy as compared to the rural market. Rural market is a tough nut to crack for the marketers. So we need to focus separately on rural marketing. As you can understand from the term itself, that rural marketing is basically the process of marketing the products and services in the rural area to the rural consumers to convert their needs and wants into actual demand. And uh, it requires adoption of various marketing strategies and policies. Now, you may ask a question, why rural market is different from an urban market, or what are the points of differences that makes rural marketing so interesting and challenging for the marketers? These are basically some of the unique features of Indian rural market. Let me talk about them. Firstly, illiteracy. Till date, more than 40% of the population of Indian rural areas are illiterate. And those who are even literate, they are not educated enough to take their own decisions by themselves. Many a times they take help of others or they resort to others for decision making. So far as their financial condition is concerned or economic condition is concerned, many of them are still under the poverty line. So the you cannot think rural people spending a lot of money to purchase your product. So you have to keep that in mind, which is not the case for urban consumers. Then one major problem of rural market is poor infrastructure, whether it is road or it is telecommunication system or it is any other kind of infrastructure like electricity, etc. Most of the rural areas, we find that these infrastructures are not well developed. They do not have a wide or properly built up road. They do not have proper mobile communication or telecommunication. They, in many rural places, still there is no electricity. So under such circumstances, marketing becomes really challenging. There is another problem of rural market, that is of heterogeneity. That is, rural market is greatly heterogeneous, greatly diversified. Say it in terms of their attires, say it in terms of their food habits, say it in terms of their other tastes and preferences, say it in terms of their dialects or languages that they speak. Everything is different. And in fact, if you move 100 kilometers, in probably every 100 kilometers, you will find a new rural India. So, under such circumstances, it becomes really difficult and challenging for the marketer to address the rural market. Last but not the least is definitely dominance of agriculture in shaping lifestyle. We know still today majority of the rural population is dependent on agricultural products for earning their livelihood. Under such circumstances, their purchase patterns, how much they are going to spend to purchase a product, everything will depend on the agricultural product, how much production has happened this time, how much money they have got after selling of those produced. So if everything is tied with livelihood of these rural people is tied with such agricultural production. Now I will be talking about certain factors which influence rural buying pattern. Of course, these factors are dependent on these unique features of rural market that I have talked about. The first and foremost thing is that need based buying. Rural people are generally very conscious about their decision making. They don't make whimsical purchase decisions. They are poor, so they know how to spend money. So each and every penny they think of before spending. In fact, they actually look for money, like look for value for money. That is, instead of purchasing bulk packets, they prefer to purchase products in small pouches or small packets, or uh, in small containers, because that is cheaper for them to afford, and they try to deal with that because they do not have that much money to purchase big packets of the products or the big containers. As I have already mentioned, even if they are purchasing products or availing services with their own money, many a times they are not in a position to make their own decisions. Their decisions are primarily governed by the society. That is, whatever other households of that particular village is purchasing, the uh, you also as a rural consumer need to purchase the same product or need to avail the same service without even experiencing the other products or other services which are in offer, without seeing the pros and cons of the other products or other services. And it is also because of the innate resistance to change of these rural people. Once they are habituated with some product, they are unlikely to move to some other brand or some other product unless it is necessary. I will be talking about certain other factors, very interesting factors that influence rural buying pattern. One is that their perceptions are shaped by socio-cultural differences. I just give you one example for understanding. The color red is considered to be very trendy in urban areas. But when we talk about rural areas, it's like it's a color of auspicion. It's an auspicious color. So see how perception change according to the geographical area or according to the socio-cultural differences. We see innovative product usage in rural areas. Say, for example, in Bihar, we see that iodex is rubbed on the skin of the cattle to relieve them of the pain of the whole day's work. In fact, in Punjab, we see that lassi is churned out of washing machines. We may think of UP, where wall paints are used to paint the bullock horns as easy identification mark. In fact, again in Bihar, Horlicks is used to maintain the health of cattle. So see, it is much diversified, much different from the actual usage of these products. So that is also very unique factor which we see in the rural market. And last but not the least is brand consciousness. Unlike the urban area, the rural people do not identify a brand by its name. Primarily, it is by the logo or by the color of the product, like Billy Chap battery, Pila detergent powder, etc. They probably don't know even the name of the product or name of the brand, but they just know the logo or the color of the products through which they identify the products, and that is what brand means to them. Now, whatever discussions we have made so far from that, probably we have got into some of the challenges that the marketer faces while marketing their products and services in rural markets. Because of the infrastructure, definitely distribution is a problem because of the existing infrastructural hindrances act as the bottlenecks to distribution. The psyche of the rural people prohibits them from shifting from one product that they have been using for so long to a new product. So it's very difficult for the marketer to introduce a new product in the rural market. Communication remains a problem. As a result, it becomes difficult for the marketer to reach to a large amount of customers or to a large area, and it causes high cost too. Very interestingly, rural markets are filled with fake and spurious products. These products look like original product, but these products are not actually original. Say, for example, just by changing slightly the logo or the name of the brands, false and spurious products are being sold in the rural market. Say, for example, instead of Nokia, the product is branded as Nokai, or instead of Samsung, it is written Samsung. So apparently, if you look without focusing much, you will think that it is the same product like the original product, but actually it is not. So that is also very, very important feature or a challenge of rural market, because since the literacy level is much low in rural areas, so people fail to identify which one is the actual product or original product and which one is the fake or spurious product. There remains seasonality of demand, as the demand of the rural people depends on their income, which is tied with agricultural produce. As a result, demand for product also becomes seasonal. There are problems with banking and credit facilities for rural people. Yes, it is true that banks have reached to many rural places, but still their access to bank is still less. Because of their some psychological barriers or something else, they are reluctant to go to banks. In fact, they will probably be moving into banks if they have savings. But many times we see, most of the cases, that rural people do not have savings. Whatever they earn one day, on the same day they spend the whole thing. So what is the requirements of banks? And to be very honest, existence of money lenders, unorganized money lenders, or what we call as mahajans, that is also a huge problem for in the rural market. They charge a very high rate of interests, and as a result, the rural people are left with no money in their hand to purchase any new product. Last but not the least is the highly dispersed rural market. As I have already said, there is huge diversity in terms of language, in terms of their food habit, in terms of the attire they wear, in terms of their other tastes and preferences, etc. As a result, addressing such a variety for the marketer is really difficult. But does it mean that rural market is full of challenges to the marketers? Doesn't it have any opportunity? Of course, it has. Uh, we know that fortune lies at the bottom of the pyramid. We have seen that theory. That theory is proven. So, from that, we can understand that if a marketer targets these rural people, automatically certain opportunities he will be able to have, such as we know that rural prosperity is gradually rising. Their per capita income is gradually increasing. So there is an immense scope in future to sell products and services in rural market, that is catered to the bottom of the pyramid. In fact, previously, most of the rural people were dependent on agricultural produce. But nowadays, we have non-farming working classes as well, ensuring some flow of income every month. As a result, now they are left with some money to purchase different kinds of products. As a result, their consumption level has also gone up, and government has initiated various schemes like MG Narega, Gramin Sadak Yojana, Sarva Siksha Abhiyan, Rural Electrification Program, etc. And in fact, certain financial aid is given to the self-help groups or MSME organizations. So the overall prosperity is actually increasing. There is life change in lifestyle of the rural people. because they are trying to be at par with the urban people. As a result, it's easier for the marketer now to understand the tastes and preferences of the rural people. And it it also causes such rapid changes in lifestyle, also causes rapid market growth, which is much higher than the urban market growth. And one more thing here I would like to mention, which is very, very important for the marketer, is the life cycle advantage. We know that every product has its own life cycle. Now, the life cycle tends to be short for a particular product in urban area as compared to the same in rural area. So if the marketer introduces a new product in the rural market, then the possibility of that product lasting long throughout its life cycle is much more. So obviously that is advantageous to the marketer who is targeting rural. So, from our discussion so far, I hope we have understood the importance of rural marketing and why many marketers are targeting rural markets or rural people. Now, we will enter into the next topic for our discussion, that is topic number 7, which is marketing of services. This is very, very important because uh, Indian service industry is growing at the highest pace as compared to any other country of the world. In fact, approximately 66% of GDP is contributed, Indian GDP, of course, is contributed from service sector. As a result, we can understand that the importance of service industries is immense in Indian economy. And not only that, we have talked about marketing of products so far, mostly. But marketing of service is to some extent different because it has certain unique features or disadvantages as compared to the products or the tangible goods. Such features of services are intangibility, inseparability, heterogeneity, perishability, and non ownership. Let me come to them one by one. Uh, Service cannot be tangible. It is not tangible. You cannot touch a service. You can touch the book that you are studying. You can touch the pen through which you are writing. You can touch the mobile phone or the computer through which you are now seeing this video. But you cannot touch the lecture that is being delivered. You cannot touch the service that you have availed while traveling from one place to another in an aeroplane. You cannot touch the experience of watching a movie in the cinema hall. You cannot touch the fond memory that you have uh, while taking any other service. So you can understand that service is intangible in its nature. It is inseparable too. That is, service cannot be separated from the service provider. I mean, the lecture cannot be delivered without the teacher. A dish cannot be prepared without the chef. Uh, uh, a patient cannot be treated without the presence of the doctor. A car cannot be driven if the driver is absent. So, in case of service, the service provider is inseparable from the service. The service, if it is in offer, then the service provider needs to be present. The third one is heterogeneity. No two person can give similar kind of service. No two doctor treat a patient in a similar way. No two dishes prepared by two different chefs taste the same. No two the lecturers give the lecture on the same topic in a similar manner. So you see that service is heterogeneous. Next is perishability. If you order a plate of biryani and if you cannot eat it today, you can keep it in your fridge and you can consume it tomorrow. If you have something that you cannot consume now, you can keep it and you can have it tomorrow. But that is not true in case of service. Just imagine uh, the empty seats in the cinema hall, the empty beds in the nursing home or hospital, the if you remain absent from the school or college one day, can you compensate that? Will you be able to will you be able to add a few more beds or few more chairs next day in the hospital or in the auditorium to compensate the loss that you had on the last day because of those unfilled chairs or unfilled uh, hospital beds? It is not possible. So you have to consume the service as and when it is in offer. Once it has been offered, you cannot consume it at a later point of time. So service is perishable. Last, service cannot be owned. uh, you do not own the college or university from where you are getting the degree. You do not own the hospital where you are getting treated. You do not own the restaurant where you go for having dinner. You do not own the cinema hall where you go to watch a movie. So, service cannot be owned. Now, these are certain limitations of the service that make service different from the products, and that makes service more challenging. I mean, marketing service more challenging for the marketers. But these disadvantages are at the same time the inherent features of services that make it different from the products. If these features or these disadvantages are wiped out, then these will no longer remain services, rather they will be products. Now, question arises how to deal with these shortcomings, how a marketer can overcome these drawbacks of marketing of services. Can he do anything for it? The answer is yes. The marketer needs to take certain strategies to deal with these disadvantages which are inherent in service marketing. In order to address the intangibility issue, the marketer can add a tangible reminder or a tangible quotient to the intangible services that has been offered. Say, for example, you have taken a flight from Kolkata to Delhi. The water bottles, there the name of the flight is given. So probably you preserve the water bottles, and whenever you come across that, it reminds you of the fond memories of that journey. Think of restaurants. When you go to restaurants, you come back with some carry bags or some containers of that restaurants where the name of that restaurant is emblemed. So whenever you come across that particular carry bag or that particular container, it will bring in your mind, it will fetch in your mind those fond memories that you had while having your lunch or dinner in that restaurant. Think about the X-ray plates, the plastic or plastic carry bags that you have received from the hospital where you have been treated. So whenever you come across that plastic carry bag or that films where I mean X-ray plates, etc., where the name of the hospital is printed, you will remember of your experience that you had while being treated in the hospital. So, by adding such tangible reminder to intangible services, the marketer can address the issue of intangibility of service to some extent. Now, coming to inseparability. When we talk about inseparability and heterogeneity, basically, that can be addressed in two ways. One, where human component has can be replaced with the service with the mechanization of service. Let me give you some examples. Today we are aware of different vending machines, ATMs, etc. More or less across the country or across the world, across all the banks, all the ATM machines function more or less in a homogeneous way. So the places where human component can be replaced with mechanization, there heterogeneity can be addressed because more or less all the machines or that mechanization will lead to homogeneity or bring homogeneity in the service. What about the other cases where the mechanization has not replaced the human component? In that case, there are two situations by which a marketer can address this shortcoming. One is efficient use of DBMS, that is database management system. Another one is uh, implementing efficient policy decisions and effective trainings. Let me come to them one by one. Firstly, let me talk about the extensive use of database management system. Let me give you one example relating to. Think about Singapore Airlines. Whenever you fly with Singapore Airlines, they don't fail you to address with your name because they have in your database before even you take the flight, they have in their database your names and other details. So, on the date when you are flying with them, if that is a special day for you, maybe your birthday, maybe anniversary, etc., they don't fail to surprise you with special gifts on because of your special day. So that can be possible just because of the extensive use of database management system. Once you take a flight with Singapore Airlines, they keep your every details in their system, and as a result, uh, uh, you whenever you are flying with them, you can get the similar kind of treatment, no matter who are the cabin crew that are there for you. Same kind of examples I can give for the corporate personalities who stay in different hotels. Generally, these personalities prefer to stay in their favorite room of their favorite hotel, and they prefer to get serviced by their favorite room service boy. Now, what if that favorite room service boy once is in leave? He is not present in the hotel. Does it mean that this corporate personality will leave the hotel? He will not stay in the hotel? That is not possible. So, how to address his demands? Again, DBMS system comes to our rescue, because if he's a regular boarder of that hotel, then you actually know what kind of food preferences he has, whether he's a vegetarian or a non-vegetarian, or at what time of the day he doesn't want to be disturbed, etc., etc. So accordingly, from that database that you have, any other service boy can treat him in the same way that his favorite service boy do. So that is another example of efficient use of database management system. Let me talk about the other part, that is efficient policy decisions and effective training and effective training. Uh, just imagine that one day you have fallen ill. Now, you generally prefer to get treated by the doctor who comes to the chamber in the evening, or who comes to the hospital in the evening. Now, you have fallen sick in the morning. So, are you going to wait till the evening comes to get treated by your favorite doctor? Is it possible, especially when the disease is serious, when you are seriously suffering? That is not possible. But because of proper training and efficient policy decisions, if the doctor who sits in the morning sees your previous prescriptions or checks what are the medicines you use, so he can prescribe such medicines which will relieve you at least for that. Later on, when you are in a better state of health, you can actually visit your favorite doctor and you can get treated. So, see how efficient policy decisions and effective training uh, can minimize the heterogeneity in the services provided. Now we talk about perishability. Now, as we know that services are perishable, services must be availed when they are in offer. So, what can you do to address this issue? Nothing but simple analysis and better management of demand and supply can help address this issue. Let me give you one example in this regard. Uh, if we talk about Kolkata Metro, you will see in the morning time, the frequency of Kolkata Metro is very less. That means after 15 minutes, probably you will get a metro. But at the peak time, during office hours, the metro runs in a gap of 6 to 8 minutes. Again, say for example, on holidays, again, the metro runs at a larger interval. Why so? Just the uh, just the adjustment and analysis of demand and supply. So when the demand for the product, or rather when the demand for the service is less, you apply less number of trains, less number of rakes in the line, so that it can cater to only those customers who need it. But at the peak hours, when more people want to avail the service, you employ more rakes in the line so that their service can be catered properly. So in this way, you can address the perishability issue of marketing of services. Last but not the least, ownership issue. This is only thing where the marketer is helpless. Marketer cannot do anything with this issue, that is ownership. Services cannot be owned, and in nothing can be done in this regard. So this remains to be a very important disadvantage or feature of service that the marketer has to deal with. Now, since the nature of services is to some extent different from that of products that I have already discussed, so when I talk about marketing mix for services, the marketing mix contains three more P's in addition to the conventional four P's. We know that the conventional four P's are product, price, place, and promotion, whereas for service marketing mix, there are additional three P's, that is people, process, and physical evidence. Let me now discuss about these three additional P's one by one. As I talked about already, people or the human intervention remains a very, very important part in marketing of service. We have seen that marketing is inseparable, so human intervention is required, uh, especially where mechanization has not substituted the human component. So human needs to be present in such an area. So people is there as an important marketing mix. The next marketing mix, that is process, talks about the distribution channels. Different services are distributed through different channels, that we need to understand that which service needs to be delivered or distributed through which channel. The appropriate channel needs to be identified. Let me give you one example in this regard. Think of two fast food chains, KFC and McDonald's, or KFC and Pizza Hut. In KFC, you have off the shelf menu. That is, you go stand in the queue and you give the order. And when the product is ready, you need to collect the product and bring the product or bring the food to your table. But if it is Pizza Hut, it is completely different. You have to place the order and you have to sit at your own table and you have to wait for the product to be delivered at your table. So see, delivery system is also different for these two different chains of fast food fast food companies. So we need to understand which which delivery mechanism needs to be adopted for which type of service. Last but not the least is physical evidence. When you are providing a service, it needs some physical evidence. Like when if you go to a school or college, you will see those blackboards, those benches, those projectors, etc. If you go into a movie hall, you will see, or auditorium, you will see the chairs uh, you arranged in a particular way. If you go to the runway, or if you go to an airport, by seeing the runway you can understand it's an airport. If you go to a hospital, by seeing the hospital beds you can identify that is an hospital. So see, it is, I mean, every service, while providing such service, it requires certain physical evidence which is very unique and different from the other service. The physical evidences that you see in a classroom will not be the same as a cinema hall. The physical evidences that you see in a hospital will not be the same that you see every day in your bedroom or living room. So, such physical evidences or infrastructures are known as essential physical evidences, without which the service cannot be delivered. We have another physical evidence concept, which is peripheral physical evidence. As I have already mentioned, since service is intangible, as as a physical reminder of that intangible service that you have availed, you can give certain gifts. The memento that you have received from by participating in a competition, the carry bags or X-ray plates that you have received from the hospital, or the containers that you have received from the restaurants. These are some of the examples of peripheral physical evidence. These are the three additional P's of service marketing, that is, people, process, and physical evidence. We are almost at the end of our lecture. Uh, I will be talking about two more areas which can be considered as other emerging areas in marketing, which is our last topic, that is topic number 8. The first topic that we will be talking about is blue ocean strategy, and the second one is the artificial intelligence driven marketing. Let me talk about the first one, that is blue ocean strategy. Mostly, we see that the marketers compete head on with an already established marketer in that industry. So the industry is already overpopulated or overcrowded, and in within that industry they are competing with each other cutthroat to increase their share of market in that particular industry or to increase the profits. As a result, they are left with nothing but uh, you know bloody red ocean of competition, and they compete in a shrinking pool of profits. Under such circumstances, some of the marketers prefer to find out or discover that uh, 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 that industry or those industries where there is no competition or low competition. So that marketing strategy is known as blue ocean strategy. That is, instead of competing in the overcrowded industries where hardly there is any opportunity of growth, it's better to move on to some other industry and start afresh with new products, with new customers. There are two advantages of this strategy. Firstly, you get the first mover advantage because you are one of the first players in that field. And secondly, you can churn out the whole of the profit when you are the monopolist. At least till the time other competitors are entering into the market, you can churn out the whole. As a result, many marketers are now going for this blue ocean strategy. Although we need to keep in mind that all blue oceans will gradually become red oceans full of competition, because as an as the alone player in the blue ocean, when you earn more profits, automatically other competitors will be lucrated by that particular amount of profit, huge amount of profit, and they will try to enter into that particular area. So ultimately, any blue ocean will gradually turn out to be red ocean full of competitions. However, as a marketer, you need to keep on finding out new areas, new industries where you can expand your market, where you can find blue ocean without any competition, any direct competition to be more precise. Now, let me give you some examples in this regard so that you can understand the concept of blue ocean strategy well. You can think of Mintra. It was one of the first online platforms to sell apparels. You can think of Starbucks. Starbucks, apart from selling coffee, they started selling CDs, newspapers, magazines, etc. from their outlets. So people prefer to sit there, people prefer to have a cup of coffee over certain discussions, and they started reading those newspapers, listening to music, or they started reading those books. And that is where Starbucks make themselves different from any other cafe. Think about Tesla. Tesla is the first one to introduce electric car. So it is the pioneer in that industry. So these are some of the examples. You may think about Apple Music as well, the pioneer in case of digital music. So these are some of the examples where we see that different companies or different marketers have ventured into blue ocean strategy and found out new industries, new businesses to have a competition less market. You may ask a question that the examples that I have given are already there. These companies or these marketers have been in these kind of businesses for quite a long time now. Then why are we calling it an emerging area? Because blue ocean strategy is not over. The strategy is very new, and the strategy can be expanded in future as well. That is, more blue oceans of without competition may be found out, and market can be expanded there. That's why it still we can say that is it is at its emerging stage. I give you certain examples in this regard. Two examples I will be giving. Nowadays, we are comfortable with ebooks. We know we study ebooks, and that is why products like Kindle are becoming very, very popular. But there are some people who prefer to have offline books, physical form of books, rather than reading ebooks. But every book you cannot purchase because your pocket may not support that. And on the top of that, you may not be having sufficient space at your home to store as many books as you want. In such a case, what you can do? You can go for a library. Of course, you have certain physical libraries situated at various locations. But what if you are staying away from such library? You can think of e-library. By e-library, what I'm trying to say is that not library containing e-books. Rather, just like Flipkart, Amazon, etc., you are placing the order of your book through online mode, and the book in physical form is being delivered at your place. After the lending time, they again come at your doorstep and take that book away. And if you order any new book, if you are interested to study any other book, they deliver that book to you. Have you thought of it? That can be an emerging area which is not there till date in India. This kind of business you may think. In fact, a real life example I'm telling you, uh, Tata, very well known brand to all of us, to all the Indians. Now, Tatas are venturing into old age services. Very soon, they will come up with such products. We have services for babies, newborn babies, but we don't, till date, we don't have services for old age people. I'm not talking about, old age homes. I'm not talking about that. You can stay at your home, and dedicated people will be there to help you out at your old age, whether it's your any kind of physical illness or any kind of support you want. There will be dedicated team of people uh, catering to your service. Tata is going to bring such kind of service very soon in India. So that's an emerging area. That's a blue ocean strategy that has not been explored by any other marketer in India till date. Last but not the least, I can give you another example in this regard. Think about Amazon, Flipkart, these online shopping platforms. Today, when you order something, they deliver the product at your doorsteps. That is known as shopping, then shipping. Very soon, the scenario may completely change. From shopping, then shipping, it may be shipping, then shopping. I repeat, from shopping, then shipping, it may turn into shipping, then shopping. Let me give you some examples in this regard so that you can understand. Suppose you have purchased a mobile phone, maybe an iPhone from Amazon. Now, Amazon knows when you are purchasing an iPhone, of course, you will be requiring certain other things like screen guard, like charger, protective cover, etc. So while delivering the product, that is the iPhone, the Amazon may bring in its cart various other products which may be suitable with the product that you have ordered. So if you choose any product from those mobile cases or screen guards or headphones or whatever, if you choose something, that is okay. Otherwise, Amazon will take it back. What is the advantage of such kind of strategy? The advantage is that this particular marketer, in our example Amazon, is reaching to you before you can reach to any other marketer for these products, for accessories. So Amazon is bringing everything at your doorstep, and it is less costly also, because neither you have to spend more time searching for these products online or in any other store. So Amazon is bringing everything for you, and it is cost friendly for Amazon also, because anyways Amazon had to come to your doorstep to deliver the iPhone. So if it brings something else also along with it, certain other accessories, and some of the accessories you actually purchase, so it's beneficial for Amazon. Just imagine, this can be an example of blue ocean strategy that you may very soon see in the future. uh, Now, we will talk about artificial intelligence driven marketing. We know in today's world, we cannot negate the importance of artificial intelligence. We are using various products where artificial intelligence or AI services are embedded. I would like to tell you certain short stories through which you may understand the importance of artificial intelligence and how marketer can use artificial intelligence for their own benefits. Let me give you some examples one by one. The first example, let me say this is the example of Miss X. She is a teenager. I'm giving this example from USA. So she's a teenager. She went to some departmental store for purchasing some product, and after purchasing those products, she came back. Now, after coming back home, suddenly she started receiving mails, flyers, etc., uh, advertising such products or services which are targeted for newborn babies, or the mothers, newly I mean new mothers, etc. Now, the father of this girl was furious. They, I mean, he was in an argument with that departmental store, and he was about to file a case against them for for promoting such products targeting his child, teenage girl. Uh, Later on, it was found out that that teenage girl was pregnant when he visited that store. And somehow the artificial intelligence which was installed in the store understood that from maybe her movement, from maybe her body shape, from maybe the kind of products he was looking for, etc. And as a result, it considered this lady, this teenage girl, as as the potential customer for those products. Let me give you another example. Let us suppose this is the example of Miss Y. This is also from a Western country. Now, Miss Y has gone to some shop to try different dresses and purchase some of them. Now, he has some artificial intelligence installed in his mobile. So, whenever he is putting on any dress to give a trial, and she is keeping a pic she is clicking a picture of her with that dress, the same picture is being distributed among her friends. Now her friends are recommending whether to purchase that product or not, that particular dress or not. Not only that, when the lady is adding those dresses in her cart, the artificial intelligence is actually reminding her that how much money she has in her bank account and how much she is going to spend if she purchases all these dresses. In fact, after purchasing the products or those garments or attires, when she was coming out of the store, there was some advertisement of some attire which was about to be launched. It was not launched yet. So the artificial intelligence system actually made a picture of that lady with that particular dress. And the lady considered that dress to be very good, and she pre booked that dress. So just imagine how artificial intelligence can help marketer to sell their products or to identify the target customers. Let me go into the third example. The third example is another lady, say, for example, Z. Now, this lady, Z or Z, uh, she depends totally on artificial intelligence of Amazon. So, that is Alexa. So whatever he has to purchase, starting from grocery, how many packets of biscuits she needs to purchase, how much of grocery needs to be purchased, how much money she's spending for groceries, for her dresses, how much money she has in her bank account, how when she has to uh, pay to her landlord. Everything is being reminded by artificial intelligence. So it is acting as an assistance to that lady. So just imagine how we are depending on artificial intelligence and how it may help both the marketers and consumers to take their decisions. Last but not the least, I will be talking about one movie, that is 2013 movie, called Her, 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 where there is one guy who has got recently divorced, and he falls for an artificial intelligence named as Samantha. He started dating Samantha, and later on become shattered by knowing that Samantha is not a real lady. It is a machine. It is an artificial intelligence. And at this, while dating this particular boy, it also dates with many other lonely boys. So see how dependent person become on artificial intelligence. Under such circumstances, probably from these examples, it is very clear that artificial intelligence is going to be the future of marketing. Already, we are seeing the use of artificial intelligence in several marketing initiatives. Say, for example, today, when if we have to contact some customer care services, in many cases, you will not find a human being addressing your calls. Rather, they have their own chatbots for the same. So the chatbots will be handling your queries. They will try to solve the problem. Otherwise, they will register a complaint, whereby the officials will call you back at your convenient time. So see, use of artificial intelligence. Think of driverless cars and trains. Very recently, we know in Kolkata, in the east west metro section, they have started driverless. They have started flying driverless metros. So that is also an example of artificial intelligence. So today, how we can say that artificial intelligence is not going to help marketer? It's definitely going to help marketer, and the future of marketing is, to a great extent, is going to be artificial intelligence driven. So the marketers also need to upgrade themselves to know the nitty gritties of artificial intelligence, and the customers also need to depend to a great extent, and thus they need to know the nuances of artificial intelligence, because it has several benefits, but it has certain drawbacks as well. So those need to be identified. At this juncture, I end my today's discussion, because you get some ideas about whatever we have discussed so far, some ideas about the emerging areas of marketing. I hope I have been able to give certain ideas to you. Now, I will be giving some quick tips for studying as well as for examination. Uh, for studying, I will say, uh, from my deliberation, perhaps you have understood that marketing is a very interesting subject. So don't try to mug up things. Rather, it's better if you try to understand the concepts. Trust me, it's very interesting. Secondly, I will say, many a times, at least most of the times, we resort to handbooks and remedy books. To be very honest, they may be very helpful to prepare before the exams, but they are not very good contents, very good sources of information. As a result, I will always suggest you to refer different textbooks and reference books of at least national importance, if not international importance. That will develop your idea, that will clear your concepts, and of course, that will fetch interest in the subject. Last but not the least, marketing is a live subject. So try to relate different concepts in marketing that you are studying with the real world examples. In that case, it will be easier for you to understand the concept, as well as it will be easier to remember. For examination also, I have some suggestions for you. Firstly, there is a common convention, common thought that as much as we write, we will be getting marks accordingly. That I'm sorry, but teachers are not that stupid. So don't write uh, useless things in your answer scripts. Those are very age-old concepts that more pages you write, more marks you will get. So try to keep your writing, try to keep your answers as much short and crisp as you can. If you are writing sensible content, if you are writing the correct thing which has been asked for in the question, you are going to get full marks, no matter how many pages or how many lines you write. It is always advisable, since it is a theoretical paper, it is always advisable, instead of writing in paragraphs, if you can write point wise, it will be easier for you also, and it will be easier for the examiner also to understand what you are trying to say through your answer. And I will also always suggest, don't vomit up the bookish language or the bookish words that you have marked up. Rather, it's always better, rather, it's best if you can reproduce the concepts in your own words in the answer scripts. Last but not the least, try to substantiate your answers with real life examples as and where possible, because for every answer, giving an example may not be possible, but wherever it is possible, try to cite some real life examples. So that will enrich your answer. So now we are almost at the end of our discussion. Today's discussion, whatever contents I have prepared, is based on the influence that I have from my marketing guru, whom I consider to be my marketing guru, Dr. Rajiv Dasgupta, Professor, University of Calcutta. Apart from that, I have referred to various books, the latest edition of books by Kotler and Armstrong, Kotler and Keller, Ramaswamy, etc., and various volumes of Harvard Business Review Journal have been referred to for developing this content for today's lecture. Now it's time to thank you all. Of course, the first thank goes to my teachers for making me able to stand up to this platform and deliver this lecture. Uh, Secondly, I would like to thank my family and friends who have always given me unwavering support. Thirdly, my former and present colleagues, some of my former and present colleagues, who have now become my extended family members, for making me believe that I still can. And it is needless to say, I thank my students for their patient hearing for such a long period of time, and for so many topics they have given. They have attentively attended these topics, this lecture. Last but not the least, I'm very much thankful to Professor Pema Lama and his whole team of KBSAA, along with Azure Academic Services, for arranging such a program and inviting me to deliver a lecture in this platform and conducting the program so well. I sincerely thank you all. Now, I would request the coordinator to shoot if there is any question in the chat box.
I don't think that there is any question after your lucid and precise explanation. Okay.
Oh, well,
Uh,
thank you very much then once again. I
Thank you
would,
so much, sir. And
I
I
have
strongly
my,
believe,
yeah,
yes, sir.
no, I have my email ID given in this last slide. So any of the students, if they want to reach me at a later point of time with their doubts or any kind of clarification, I can definitely, uh, reply them back. They can reach my inbox through this email. Thank
Sure,
you.
sir. Thank you so much. And
Thank
I
you.
strongly believe that undergraduate students will be able to develop their base concept from this video, because it has most of the contents of marketing management, and they can develop their base concept from this. Okay, and it was really great session, sir. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
offering your valuable time for from your busy schedule. Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much, sir.
I also pray that students get really benefited from this lecture. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you so much, sir.